Hello, this is Jake from Optimus Futures, and welcome to our introduction video to Optimus Trader. Now, this video will briefly cover important features and topics on what to look out for when using Optimus Trader. So for more advanced and in-depth tutorials, look out for our future Optimus Trader videos. But again, this video will be covering the most important features and topics on what Optimus Trader is all about. Instant execution, and a highly customizable platform. So right off the bat, we can take a look here, and this is the default layout of Optimus Trader. Layouts can be reconfigured and adjusted underneath the Layout tab, which can be found in the top right-hand corner of our platform window. By clicking on the Layout tab, we can either save a current layout, we can delete a current layout, or we can revert back to the default layout, which is shown currently on our screen here. Layouts can be changed by simply left-clicking on the top of any widget, and once you receive the pan or the little hand symbol that replaces your icon, you can left-click, hold, and then drag. And a widget can be rearranged to any location on the platform. As you saw when I did rearrange it, there was a red box underneath our widget here. That simply indicates that that is where the widget will end up being placed. Widgets can also be resized. To resize a widget, scroll your icon over the bottom right-hand corner of a widget, and when you see the resize button, left-click, hold, and drag. As you saw before, you will get a red box indicating where the widget will end up, and once you let go of your left-click, the widget will be resized. As I mentioned, a layout can be reverted back to the default or can be cleared at any time by clicking one of the various buttons. If we'd like to save this current layout, we can do so by clicking on Save Current Layout, and it'll create a new layout for us. At any time, if we need to delete or modify an existing layout, we can do so by either left-clicking the pencil to change the name of our layout. We can click the trash bin to delete a layout, and we can go back to an old layout by left-clicking the layout button, which is the far leftmost button under our layout screen here. Now off the bat, you'll see we have widgets that are placed by default because we started with our default layout. If you'd like to add additional widgets, these can be found under the Widgets tab, located once again in the top right-hand corner. And as you can see here, we have various amounts of widgets that can be placed. Starting from top to bottom, we have a chart widget, an accounts widget, a reconstructive tape, time and sales, notifications, positions, orders, a favorites widget, date and time, and depth of market. To add an additional widget to your layout here, simply left-click on the widget that you'd like to apply. And once you left-click, we may need to scroll down just a bit, but our widget will be placed. Again, this is the default home screen of Optimus Trader. The more widgets you add, they will be added to the bottom of the page. So if there's a widget that you thought you may have added and you don't see it here on the main page, you may need to scroll down just a bit. But as you can see here, we just added a depth of market, so our depth of market was added beneath the other widgets. And as you saw before, if we'd like to add it back to the top, we can simply left-click, hold, scroll back up, and we can add our widget to the desired location. So as you can see here, when we first place a widget onto our home screen, it by default will not be populated with the symbol. Now, symbols can be added to widgets in various locations depending on widget to widget. But for example, if we like to add a symbol to our chart, we can scroll over our mouse to the top left-hand corner, click on the drop-down menu, and then we'll be brought to our symbol directory. From here, we can either search through our directory, choose a recently searched symbol, or filter by futures type. Since the E-mini S&P 500 is a very popular futures contract, we'll apply that to our chart right now. And as you can see, just after a couple seconds, our chart will populate with data. As I mentioned, placing a symbol on the various widgets on this platform differ from widget to widget. If we wanted to add a symbol to our dome or depth of market widget, we'll just need to click the select button here and then apply our E-mini S&P 500. And as you can see, it instantly begins to populate with data. Now, as I mentioned, this platform is focused on execution, and you can execute on various locations throughout this platform. One being the dome. It's also possible to execute through a chart. If you'd like to trade through the chart, you can click the chart trade button located here in the top right hand corner of a chart. It is the far leftmost button. And by clicking this, it will either deactivate or activate the trading buttons, as you may have just saw. Finally, there is an order widget in the top right hand corner, and this will allow you to instantly execute from any location on the platform. It'll open up the sidebar here. All you'll need to do is type in the symbol, the account, type in your flags, your quantity, and your different order types, and you can instantly place a trade from this sidebar here. Other than that, we have a settings page where you can change the time zone. You can click one-click trading, which will essentially disable any confirmations so you can place trades instantly. And we can change the layout of our sorting regarding widgets. And that just about does it for this video. Like I said, this was just a brief tutorial to cover the main topics and the main focus of Optimus Trader. For any of the widgets or features that you saw in this video today, keep an eye out for future videos that will entail more detailed and a larger breakdown of how those widgets functions and how to operate with them. If you have any questions on Optimus Trader, feel free to post a question at community.optimusfutures.com.